Hello, welcome to Inspire in Half an Hour podcast. My name is Ruth Aisi, and I'm really happy today to be talking to Dercio Gomate, a Mozambican musician based in Maputo, Mozambique. His music has taken him to Berlin, Zurich, and this year to Washington D.C. I chat to Dercio about many things, including his love for composing music for film, most recently for the National Geographic, and also his love for traditional African instruments. I start by asking him how he got into music.
And it all actually started when I was super young because my dad's a music teacher. He was my music teacher and your son's Kwame music teacher. And I guess that's how we also met back at school when I was so tiny.
Yeah.
And yeah, the passion for music started back there. I remember my father gave me a video game, the PlayStation. I had a few games for that machine, but I wasn't interested in any of them. All I wanted to do was listen to my Tony Braxton CD on repeat every afternoon. And yeah, I guess, yeah, that's where it started. And from there, I got involved with during school, I was a dancer and I was a rapper and a poet at some point. And then I figured out that I really enjoyed composing, like writing music. So yeah, at like 13 years old, I was lucky enough to have access to a computer that I could record and produce music. And yeah, it's been a roller coaster journey from there onwards.
Your dad was such an inspiration. I remember he also, it encouraged my son Kwame so much as well, and so many other children. And he was not only a talented pianist, he was also really good at creating music productions and the plays and things that you kids put on for us at the Maputo International School in Mozambique. It was just amazing. And what I loved about it as well is, his passion. You could see that his passion for teaching came through.
Yeah, he had very frequent performances in a lot of the hotels, venues here. And he also had a band. He was part of the Alambique band. He was such an inspiring and very influential, emotionally influential person at MIS. A lot of his students were really fond of him. And when he passed away, I was so overwhelmed by joy with all the messages and the love that people sent our way. I saw the powerful impact that he had on a lot of people's lives. And even after passing away, he continued inspiring me. And I think one thing I remember about him was that even in the most difficult times, you always try to find like a positive thing and focus on that. Yeah. So yeah, I kept that with me until today, I guess.
Yeah. He had already started to see your music career develop, hadn't he?
Yes, he saw some of it develop because during school I was already producing my own music on at home. But as any African parent, I think it worried him a little bit because he managed to put me studying in the international school only because he was a teacher there, and as an artist only in a country like Mozambique, it wasn't very easy. So he was scared that I would have a difficult time earning a decent living. So he was like, hey, you can do music, but always, try to keep your studies up to date. So my parents really encouraged me to do music, my passion, give 100% of myself to it. But also I had to find a whole other 100% of Dercio to apply to music and to going to university and having a social life, which I think was a great lesson. Yeah, it just made me learn how to prioritize and just know what I want to do and how to invest my time in different fields. Yeah, so
did you go to university, Dercio?
Yes, I did. I went to university. I studied in Cape Town for 3 years. I'm a I'm a business manager, whatever that means.
Oh, that's great. Oh, congratulations. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I studied
great.
business management and marketing,
Yes.
and I did a great internship at Heineken for 1 year.
Yeah, okay. That's a very
It,
good experience. Yeah.
yes, it was an amazing experience, and it was at this point that I was really like kind of deciding, and I was in this kind of like a pendulum moment where do I
Mm,
swing more to the arts or do
mm,
I focus on this career at Heineken? At Heineken, they also saw my passion for music and for
mm,
like bringing people together. So my actual job there was really cool. I was
mm.
responsible to develop a strategy for music and event sponsorship, like
Oh,
for the
wow.
different
Mm,
brands.
great.
Uh,
Oh, that's
yeah, I had a great time doing
that,
that. I was going to all these events sponsored by Heineken,
oh,
and I'm
amazing.
going to our competitors' events. This is the life. So after the traineeship program, yeah, I saved up all the earnings that I made at Heineken, and I got myself to Berlin, and I moved there for a year,
Oh,
and
yes.
I left Heineken behind, and this was the point where I decided like, okay, um, I know I can do this music thing. I know it's not gonna be easy, but
Mm,
as much as I enjoyed my time at Heineken so much, there was something in my heart that was
mm,
so difficult to go to work every morning. Like,
mm.
although I was doing something that was fun, there was something there that was like, hey, man, I don't know if this is the right thing.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling. Why did you choose Berlin? I know it's the art center, it's a hub.
That's a great question.
Mm.
So during my studies, I was involved in DJing,
Yes,
and I started producing this like electronic music, like
yes,
techno and house, but very influenced by African
yes.
instruments and sounds. And I had some friends, very close friends who I grew up with in Maputo, like Marco and Stefano, who were in Berlin, and they were
Ah,
hosting these events. And
right.
like I had a place to stay, and there was all this kind
Ah,
of like a community that I could integrate into.
mm,
I had never been to Europe, and I've always wanted to go to Berlin. And my first impressions arriving there was that like I never been to a place that like you could be so free. And there was also a big space for me to explore my music by meeting other creative people and
yes,
collaborating and
yes.
exchanging experiences. So yeah, the trip to Berlin was very, very enriching. I
Mm.
fell in love with many times. I'm joking.
I fell in love with Berlin or fell in love? Or
Both.
both. How long were you there for,
So
Dercy?
uh,
Dercy.
I was lucky to be able to be there for a year. I got
Okay.
this kind of like a residency kind of
Okay.
program from one of the partner studios that Stefano and Marco used to work with.
Mm.
So yeah, I got this residency visa for 1 year, and I wasn't earning any cash besides the gigs that I used to play.
Yes,
And yeah, I
yes.
just burnt my savings from
Mm.
Heineken.
Yeah,
And
but
yeah,
still, no, for a great experience.
during the time I was traveling to Zurich once a month, we had a
Oh,
residency, like a DJ. We used to
yes.
host at a club called Space Monkey. There was
Oh,
a
okay.
one night per month that we curated the music.
Oh, wow. That's,
So,
I imagine it's quite famous. Yeah, Space
well,
Monkey
it's
is
it's it's, it's a pretty cool club
cool
in the in
place.
the
Yeah,
underground
yeah.
electronic
I
music
don't know
scene, but
it,
it's not
but
like
you know, my age group
yeah,
probably
yeah.
aren't frequenting it too much.
I
But
need to
no,
take you
good for
clubbing,
you.
Ruth. Let's go out
Yeah,
and
next
dance together.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I did that for a year, and then yeah, the time to come home
Mm.
arrived, and
Yes.
yes, I came back home.
Mm.
And this moment was a bit tricky because I felt like, wow, what am I gonna do back home? Like I
Yes.
don't know. I left Heineken. I know I
Yes.
want to do music, but what is there to do, you know?
Yes.
And
And you hadn't really got any plan in your head. I mean,
quite lucky because I came back like 6 months before COVID started, like 5 or 6 months before COVID started. So that was like a really great time to like be back home. I found my first job outside of like marketing and Heineken. I began working at a Kaya Studios here in Mozambique, in Maputo, and it's owned by Johnny Schwabach. He's a really great composer and musician. And for 2 years, he was like my mentor. I learned like so much about like studio recording and composing for film and like recording ads for radio.
How did you get in touch with Akaya Studio?
When I arrived, there was this Mozambique music meeting. It's a festival that happens every 2 years.
Okay.
And
Yes.
And basically it's like a showcase of the local talent. Different festival owners from around the world come to Maputo for a week, and for 1 week you have different performances, and yes, different performances of local artists. And the whole deal is that if any of these promoters like your work, you get to travel abroad and go on tour. And
amazing.
I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. So I approached Johnny and I told him like, hey, I'm passionate about music. Is there anything that I can do? Can I help in your festival? Anything. I want to do anything.
Yes.
And he basically let me record field record the events, like just have a Zoom recorder and just get the crowd sound. That was my job.
Okay. Yeah, but but that's nice. I mean, it gives the ambience, doesn't it? I mean, it was an important job.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And it's super cool to be walking around with the headphones and with this microphone because you hear everything so close as well.
Yes, no, I can imagine. Yeah, no, I can imagine. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, no, good for you. So, what's you working on at the moment, Dercio?
Right now, I think a notable project would be to mention the Youth Composers Group, which I'm a part of. And Youth is an organization that is basically trying to bring more Africans into the nature and wildlife filmmaking industry. And Youth, and Youth and National Geographic, they have a program called Africa Refocused, which basically is about giving young Africans the skills, the tools, and the community that we need to participate into the storytelling of African stories. Because what happens a lot of times is that we have a lot of stories that are told, African stories, but are told from people from outside. So you have these very huge crews that come in. We call it parachute journalism.
Yes,
they come in,
I know,
and they get the story and they get out. But then, like the community, the people who actually are living the story have no say.
Yes.
So through Africa Refocused and Youth, I'm connected with a group of composers, and as a group collectively, we're composing music for film, for Nat Geo, and for other African filmmakers that are part of this collective.
Okay,
so
that's great.
We have filmmakers from Cape Verde, from South Africa, from Angola, Cameroon, Ghana.
Wow. Oh, how nice. Yeah. Oh, that's great. What a brilliant initiative.
We recently did a film for Nat Geo called Nkashi, Race for the Okavango. And the Youth Composers, we did the music for this film and it's finally out. I think you can stream it already. And together with Youth, Nat Geo, they have a program called Africa Refocused. And it's through this program that a lot of young Africans are being empowered with the right tools and the community that we need to create like very good high quality content from Africa without needing to hire like a underwater cameraman because we don't have one, or without needing to hire an underwater sound recorder because there isn't an African person with that skill set. Like now we have all these people here.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic. And one of the films is out now. The one that we can stream, what was that about?
Nkashi, Race for the Okavango, is based in Botswana, in the Okavango Delta, and basically tells the story of this group of Kashi racers, and it's just about this boat, this traditional race, this boat race, and it takes you on a journey of like this specific. Like Nkashi racer, and he from a young age he's wanted to win the Nkashi race, and he's been preparing for so long, and finally it's his time to race. And yeah, this film takes you on this journey.
Oh, it must
be
stunningly beautiful so as well, I'm sure. Yeah. And you did you contributed to the music.
Exactly, myself and the other composers. There is Marcia from South Africa, Neil from Morocco, Kenya, Labdi from Kenya. We have Mr. Seronga from Botswana, and Patrick from Marseille, and of course our composer teacher Samuel Safa. So together we composed the music for the film, and it's so amazing because each one of us brings the flavor of our country to the sonority of the film. Oh, and myself, nice. I come with mbira always.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, that is wonderful. Yeah, actually, I've heard you play it. It is beautiful, and you play it so nicely. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it's a lovely instrument. Yeah, no, it's incredible.
It is a really special instrument. And it's so sad because a lot of people here in Mozambique, they don't know it. And this specific mbira, the nyunga nyunga with 15 keys, is a Mozambican instrument, but it was adopted by Zimbabwe, and they did an alteration. They added an extra note, and it became the 15-note instrument that it is today. But one thing that Zimbabwe did is that they played this instrument at school. They teach this. They teach music at school with the mbira, which is so amazing.
Are you going to play us something, Dercio?
Yes. Do you want me to play you now or later in the end?
Yeah. Oh, whenever you want. When do you prefer? Do you want to do it at the end?
Both.
Both. Okay. Ready now. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. No, it's beautiful. It's got such a beautiful tone. It's quite unique, isn't it?
First time I played it, it was like it was speaking with my soul. I couldn't drop it anymore. And it has this very powerful, relaxing effect on me and on people who just listen to the sound of it.
It's very calming. It's sort of perfect for a nature film as well. Did you just teach yourself, or did you have a teacher?
When I came back from my studies in Cape Town, I went through a small workshop where I learned to build my first mbira, and I had a few lessons as well in this time. And then from there, I just kind of like I kept playing, and I kept researching. I I bought books that I studied mbira songs from. And now I'm composing my own mbira songs.
That's amazing.
And this instrument really changed the course of my music career a lot, because I was coming from this background of an electronic musician and this kind of like party scene. But when I started playing the mbira, it opened up my ears and my sensitivity to a different approach regarding like making music, where now I'm focusing more on like amplifying the delicate sounds of these traditional instruments, because we have so many instruments here in Mozambique and in Africa that are not really explored to their potential. And a lot of times when we think about music, the first thing that comes to our mind is like a guitar or a piano. But, you know, we have the mbira, we have timbila, we have kankubwe, we have all these other sonorities. So my job recently has been like about kind of like just finding these sounds and learning to appreciate them and trying to incorporate them in the music that I'm making today. It's been really, it changed everything for me. Yeah. Ah, yes. We went to Washington this year, January. It was for the National Geographic Storytellers Summit. They invited us over to open the ceremony because they were so happy with the music that we composed for the Nkashi film. So they're like, guys, you have to come over. We want you to open the ceremony playing this live. And yeah, like what a way to go to America for the first time. Like
I
we played
know.
at the Grosvenor venue. We stayed at Washington D.C. It's a lovely city.
How long did you stay there?
On the program, I stayed for 2 weeks, but then I have a friend. So off the program, I stayed for another 2 weeks just exploring. I got to go see New York City. It was so strange going to this place where I've never been physically before. But because of all the media and films, I was like, I recognize this building. I recognize this place. What?
How do you organize your time and how do you keep yourself motivated?
Funny you asked that. Before we started our Zoom chat, I was like, as a creative, how to stay organized. I was searching on Google. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I do as well.
Before I couldn't say no to anything. I'm like a yes man.
Yes.
So I would have so many things that I would be doing at one point that I wouldn't do all of them as well as I could. So right now I'm trying to do like fewer things, but do them really well. So
good.
yeah. So yeah, that's how I'm kind of like managing my time now. I have like 2 music projects that I'm focusing on. One with Lena Bahuli. She's a very amazing, talented singer from Maputo, Mozambique, and her music is very percussive and organic. And I help bring her sound to life in a live scenario with my electronic tools. And it's a really cool project. We've toured together. So I'm focusing time on that. And then I have my own little band that I'm putting together, like a mbira band.
Oh, how nice. Okay.
Yeah. And besides that, I'm just focusing on composing music for film. And besides that, family time and rest. And also, I think, like, especially with music, I think with any creative process, I think it's important to give the process the time that it needs.
Exactly.
I feel like, I want to finish a job or to deliver a project when I feel like, okay, this is it. I did my best. Like, I'm happy. Not because, oh my God, I have to deliver and I only have 1 hour left and this is what I'm going to know. This is not the right way.
And how is life in Maputo?
If you can earn on the internet, Mozambique is a great place to be because you can live like very affordable, but have a very good quality of life. I have a few friends from South Africa, artists who like 2 of them relocated. One is in Tofu, the other one lives here. And a lot of other, people who are able to, they just relocate here because it's a great place. It's a nice little gem of the Indian Ocean.
Yes, no, I can I can second that. But I had one question about what music means to you, but you've sort of answered that. I mean, is there anything else that you can add to that?
Yes, I can answer this question by telling a story. Like one of my first memories as a child, I remember sitting under the piano at Hotel Polana while my dad played, and I have this feeling of the cold marble floor on my skin, and then the resonating sound of the piano just bouncing off the floor. And as I look up, I just see this instrument emitting this amazing vibration, and I was like completely in shock. I didn't know what, like, as a little baby, you can imagine, I was just like, what is going on here? um, and yeah, ever since then I was stalking my dad. I always wanted to go to work with him. And from then on, it's kind of like I experienced the world through the lens of sound. And it's through sound that it's easier for me to understand myself and understand others. Um, and yeah, also like the mbira is a place that when I have questions in my heart, when I'm feeling a bit sad, when I'm feeling maybe anxious, I just play my instrument and something happens and I feel better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's a therapy, I guess, or healing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How, your dad would be so proud of you. And I'm sure he was very proud of you and would be, just as proud of you. He's done a lot. Yeah, that's amazing. So you should end, please, with a little bit of more mbira, some more of that beautiful music.
Sure, my pleasure.
Thank you.
I will play you my favorite song on the mbira.
Yes.
And it's by a very talented mbira player, my favorite mbira player. Her name is Shiwonisu.
Oh,
Shiwonisu.
Oh, lovely. Yes. Oh, that sounds wonderful.
And this song is called Svichapera.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I love this artist. So yeah, I'm sure I will.
That was Sichapera.
Very nice.
Now I'm working on my singing. So maybe like a year or two on our next podcast, I will sing for you.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's going to be amazing as well.
Yeah, but I'm still working on that.
It's really wonderful to have you on Inspiring Half an Hour podcast, Dercio. I'm really so excited. I mean, it's just really inspirational, and particularly since I've known you since you were like, a small boy of, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. So it's just really exciting to see, the journey that you've been on and you still are on, and all your successes. It's been really, really, really a great pleasure. Thank you so much, and well done for all your achievements.
Wow, thank you so much, Ruth. I feel so blessed to be able to be here and to share my passion and to catch up with you after all these years. And I really appreciate the space and the time. And yeah, I hope we can see each other soon in person here in Maputo.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Me too. I hope so.